Leganés is a difficult side for Barcelona. It did not let them play in between the lines, and it forced Flick's hand to make changes in the second half. But as always, Flick's changes would result in a victory, so today, in Flick's Tactics, we analyze how Flick won the game. Okay, guys, as we all know, Barcelona had to place Leganés and they will suffer. And they will suffer mainly because of two issues. Because Barcelona, as of late, they've been having trouble playing a teams that would play them with a 4-5-1, that at times will be more like a 5-5, essentially. So in the beginning, Barcelona wanted to obviously attack with Lamine Yamal, attack with Raphinha, Balde coming down behind them, and Kunde coming down behind them. At the beginning of the game, this will create an issue because Kunde was not dropping back as fast as he should have in a lot of plays, and you know Leganes was countering, and they were able to create a lot of danger. And sometimes Inigo Martinez would have to drop back to kind of cover those counterattacks. And because of this issue, that would limit what Kunde would do attacking wise. So he would have to drop back to cover, and that essentially meant less spacing for Lamine Yamal to be able to work, especially when they would drop one more defender to kind of defend and clog up the area. So that essentially would mean that when Lamine Yamal had the ball, he literally had three to four players around him, and he would actually leave no space for him to work with. And we also had in this game another smaller issue, and that smaller issue became pretty big in the first half, and that is Eddie Garcia. Because since Eddie Garcia is still adapting to the pivot role, he hasn't played it for a very long time. Pedri had to drop back instead of Pedri being in this area. Pedri would have to drop back all the way down to help in a basically 1-1 situation with Eddie Garcia and Pedri to help out with the pivot role, and that would also limit the way that Pedro Gonzalez was attacking on this area of the field. That also meant that at times Fermin Lopez was left alone and he was on a one-on-one situation with the Leganes players, and sometimes it would even be a two-on-one because these two players were dropping way down, way down. So at times Fermin Lopez, as you know, Raphinha would be wider. Lewandowski would try to go down the sideline to kind of link up with these three, and then Fermin Lopez sometimes will drop down like a center forward. So very quickly in the second half, our coach Hansi Flick did an amazing job of not waiting around and making changes to start. So one thing that he would do is that he would obviously bring Frankie de Jong and remove Araujo, and then would drop down Eddie Garcia. Eddie Garcia and Frankie de Jong was able to play the pivot role, and he's so good at it. Then Pedro Gonzalez, was able to drop down deep, and Barcelona would play basically like a 4-3-3 with a creating a triangle that has been working really well for Barcelona as of late. Also, Balde, due to that injury, would have to come out, and that would leave some opportunity for uh, Gerard Martin to come in and help the team down the sideline. So as Barcelona was playing the 4-3-3, they would definitely go deeper and play more dangerously. And if you remember that play where Fermin Lopez basically dribbled three to four players like a Lionel Messi, that was him, and that was De Jong, and that was Pedri Gonzalez. working that middle of the field much better than they did in the first half. And Fermin Lopez was able to create some danger, and not only just that play, but also making more other plays that he made on the second half that was so much better than he did in the first half. And as far as Barcelona, they were very good at playing in between the lines, and I thought that Barcelona, and if you don't know what that means, is playing in between the lines. Means like playing between the lines of the defenders, where there's a player here and a player here, and in between the lines means there's no players, there's all the spacing. That's what playing in between the lines mean. And I thought Fermin Lopez, initially Barcelona just didn't have a player that they can plug in and play over Dani Olmo. We struggled in the beginning of the season, but as we see, Fermin Lopez has been stepping up really well, linking up with Lewandowski, with Raphinha, and also Lamine Yamal. And the last two games, Fermin should have had 2 or 3 goals. He's been really unlucky. He's been so close, and I think Fermin Lopez in the last season scored some bangers. We have not seen the best version of Fermin Lopez. He just needs to work on his finishing a little bit more, and I think he can bring up his level just one notch, a little bit from what he's doing right now. But even right now, he's doing a very good job. And this between the line situation is what really going to crack the code for Barcelona, as Gerard Martin was able to get a ball recovery here with doing a high pressure, and Rafinha would exploit that situation and basically just go down the sideline and take a cross to Lewandowski, who Lewandowski was not able to get to because the defender was lucky we were lucky that defender tried to block the cross and ended up scoring the goal. So in conclusion to this game, Barcelona has been playing the 4-2-3-1 very well, and it was almost what Flick would play with in every single game. But as of late, teams have been playing them with a low block and extremely clog up the area. So when those areas get clogged up, what Flick would do to counter that is that he would play with a 4-3-3, and it's something that worked against Dortmund, and it's something that worked against Leganés. So those two things that he's been able to do. Once De Jong comes into the game and Pedri Gonzalez can drop deeper, um, he can link up with Fermin Lopez a little bit more on that pivot role instead of dropping down too low, uh, down the pivot area. So Barcelona has been able to adapt and has been able to play fairly well, and not only be dependent on the 4-2-3-1 that Hansi Flick always loves to do, and he's able to go and change up with the 4-3-3, and it's something that has been worked for Barcelona tremendously. Let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts. If you want more of this, I can create more content as of like single player analysis. You let me know down in the comments, and I love to do that for you guys. So just please like the video, subscribe if you made it till the end. I really appreciate you. And hey, I'll catch you guys on the next video.